Aldon Smith, Dallas Cowboys, your newest defensive end.
What says Aldon Smith?
There you go. That's a wrap.
Take a picture of it, man.
I will.
Yeah, take a picture.
I will.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank God I was right that you started there, Aldon. Aldon Smith, that was him signing his contract with the Dallas Cowboys after a 4-year layoff. We're proud now to bring you the newest member of the Dallas Cowboys, Aldon Smith. Welcome to Fox Football Now. Buddy, how surreal is it that you were back, not only in the NFL, but with the Dallas Cowboys? When you see that, how surreal is this?
The whole thing is surreal. I don't know if it's sunk in yet, but it's truly, it's just been amazing, and I'm so fortunate that it's worked out.
Yeah, you were incredibly grateful when it happened. And you said to me then, like, Jay, you don't understand what my journey has been. Take us a little bit through your journey. Help us understand what your journey has been, where you can now use that for others.
Yeah, it's been a whole lot of soul searching. It's been a journey, it's been filled with ups and downs, and during the process, during the journey, there's been some self-inflicting wounds, but in the process, I came out with a better understanding of who I am and what I want for my life. And it gave me a greater appreciation for the game that I've been blessed to play. And I'm just so excited that the Cowboys, the NFL, has given me a chance to come back and finish what I started.
Why do you think you deserve a shot after being suspended for 4 years? Why do you think you deserve this shot?
I believe that with the platform that the NFL gives players, and particularly me, with the things that I've gone through and things I've learned, that it would give me a chance to help out others. So it's not just deserving a shot to play, but it's deserving a shot to use that platform so I can help out other people. And that's why I'm, so grateful for having this opportunity, so that I can use my play on the field, the platform that the NFL gives, and been able to help out others.
Yeah, again, you've been doing an awful lot of work, and the reason why we took you on also is the work you've done with our MVP Foundation, the shirt you have right there, and the combat vets. And I think what got me is how much you opened up to strangers. You were vulnerable. The muscles aren't what makes you strong, it's the vulnerability that is true strength in a man. You were opening up to other veterans who were going through sobriety issues, people you didn't know, and you're just bearing your soul. That, to me, took a lot of courage.
Yeah, so with MVP, it's given me, that family atmosphere, that team, and that community of people who have gone through a lot in their lives, and they've accomplished a lot. And they might not know where they can talk to people about certain things that have gone on. And we have that in common, where I've gone through things, and that's just a arena that I can talk about it in and feel comfortable. And so when I'm with those, men and women, and I'm hearing their stories, and I get to share my stories, and interesting, but at the beginning of it, I was a little hesitant to talk, but the more I felt comfortable with those people, it became, so therapeutic for me, because I was able to get help for things that I was, dealing with, and then I was also able to help by sharing my story.
What was rock bottom for you that you realized you had to make a change?
I would say 2018 was a tough year, and in that year, I was in a really dark place, and I didn't, have a lot of value for how I thought about myself. So I was, when I was in the bad spot, it got pretty bad. I was sleeping under a car for some nights because my sickness took me there, and I had a home to sleep in. But I was in such a dark place that I didn't see myself deserving anything other than that.
Hold on for 1 second here. I just have to acknowledge somebody who just showed up, because I gotta say, You are truly a fan when you can show up as a Houston Texans fan and admit that you're a Texans fan. I'm going to give you the Jason Garrett clap. Eastside Herald, the fact that you can still claim the Houston Texans. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program.
So you went from sleeping under a car to signing with the Dallas Cowboys. It's unreal. Tell people, obviously I know how you got connected with them, but I don't think the world does. Tell people how the Cowboys first entered the picture in January.
Yeah, so at your gym, Mike McCarthy came and we visited, and I had played against him when I was, in San Francisco when he was in Green Bay. But that's as far as we had, had contact. But when we met, it seemed like we had known each other, and that was really important to me because going through this process, I wanted to surround myself with people who I felt that connection with, and I felt like he, genuinely cares about me and just what I'm trying to do, just me as a man, and that was really important. So that obviously played a vital role. And then Jimmy's there, Jimmy Tomsula is there, who he was my coach when I was in San Francisco, and we had a great relationship there. And so they were just the pieces fit.
Started coming into MVP about 9 months ago. Been clean and sober throughout this time, living a sober living. But we really started training you about 6 months ago to get you back in the NFL. And I want to show people firsthand look. The first shot right now. This is back in January. So he's come even further since then. But check out Aldon here. First thing is him doing squats here, repping out 495 pounds, which is Aldon. It's just ridiculous. We have you up at about 287 pounds right now. And you played, what'd you play? You played about 260?
265, 270 on my back.
We got you at 20, 25 pounds heavier than that right now. So this is you ripping out squats. And then I want people to understand also, we train guys, we train with the fighter mentality. So these are unresistant bands, pulling Aldon back and then smashing my forearms with his hammer fists, and just, I can't wait for you to go back in the NFL. I can't wait for you to go down to Dallas just to get you away from me. My body needs a break. You broke my rib. You cut me. I mean, I want you to go.
Yeah. I need a break from you because last time I checked, I'm pretty sure we were in mid-conversation and I got a headbutt and I had a bloody lip. So,
You always got to be on guard. I'm just trying to teach you. You never know. You never know when a pass rush is going to break out. You just never know. Headbutts, they just play in a life. Hey, on behalf of everybody at MVP, we're proud of you. Obviously, we're rooting for you for this journey that you'll be able to use your experiences to be of service to other people. For that, we're always going to root for you.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up, wake up, guys. How's everybody doing on this Friday afternoon? And as you can see, we got the clock restarted. We are 12 days, 22 hours, 49 minutes, and 40 seconds away from the NFL draft kicking on. Am I going to have E2 Blue? I got to talk to E2 and make sure that we can Skype him in here because, we are social distancing each other. With the crew and stuff. We going to do it just like the NFL. If the NFL can do a whole draft remotely, then I think that we can figure out a way to do that too. Justin, how you doing? Our favorite New York Jet fan. Well, actually, you're our only New York Jet fan, but you're our favorite one. There's Big Woozy. How you doing tonight? Daniel, how's it going? Fareed Khalil, how you doing, man? Zeppelin, my man. Aaron, what's up, man? Jet D, of course. I know I saw Mike, and I saw Q, or should I say Hugh Hefner. Randy, what's going on? Randy. We got a new one out now. We got a mug rack that's coming. Somebody's already ordered one before I even got the first one off the list, man. We're definitely doing some different things and all that. Q, Eastside Herald want to bet a pack of 12 of your favorite beverage on who will win and have a better record. Oh, shots fired. And Eastside, let me at least give you props for showing up, because after the crazy ass moves your GM, your guy's been doing, he's been doing stuff that's crazier than, say, Chip Kelly. That's right. He's been doing stuff crazier than Chip Kelly. Just literally just getting rid of people left and right. Ballers to bring in guys that can't stay on the field. Little touchdown. Thank you very much thank you very much for the super chat. Did I get your email about that? What, you want a mug rack too? Is that what it was? I got a lot. It sounded like I need to let the dogs out too. I thought yours, Randy, was going to be... Oh, okay. Well, cool. You're good then. You're good. Little touchdown. I got quite a few emails, so I don't know if I have the right one from you or not. So, back to this whole interview here with Jay Glazer. A lot of people will say he's a knucklehead, he's an idiot, he doesn't deserve a chance, screw him. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, they always hire guys at issues. Oh, I thought that was going to be for the hat, the helmets, the mini helmets. Randy. I thought that was for mini helmets. But okay. Kevin, you got a question. What's your question? So you should have put the question right there, because then that way I would have gotten it, because by the time it comes around next time I might not see it. At the end of the season, I hope all moves will have been complete by then. Laughing my ass off. Okay. I need a mug wrap, my brother. I don't even have a picture of it up yet, but I'll show y'all tomorrow because I'm still working on it. He plays outside linebacker, Kevin. Outside linebacker, defensive end. He's put on some more weight. He was playing around 260, 265. Now he's like 287. So he's gotten bigger and stronger. Now, we don't know if he's lost a step or two, but he's been working pretty hard for the last 6 months. So there's that. But mental health is real. And I had a person who I had to deal with directly. When I heard him say that he was sleeping underneath the car, I understood exactly what he was talking about, because I was dealing with a person who had mental issues where they thought that things were coming out of the electric outlet. So they would turn off all the breakers. They thought stuff was coming up out of the pipes. So they would clog up all the pipes in the sink, in the bathtub, and the toilet and things. And this person would sleep in the attic on insulation because he had these visions or these images of things that weren't right to protect himself. And until he finally got medication to help, he lived this way for years and years and years. And when I heard him say that he was sleeping underneath the car, I was like, yeah, I can believe that happened. And here's another case for you guys. And we all think because somebody is famous that they don't have problems. But guess what? I don't care if it's, George Clooney. He goes to the bathroom and his poop stinks too, right? Sometimes he can, literally just destroy a bathroom. Just because you're famous doesn't mean you don't have the same problems. But here we have Emerson Griffin, who opened up about his own issues and things. In 2018, he had, let me go through and get this. Former Minnesota Viking told NFL's Tom Passero that after leaving the game behind for little touchdown, thank you very much, that super chat, it was all about my fashion wear. Was that about the shirts you were getting made up? Because maybe that's why I don't recognize the name on it. But anyway, he left the game behind for a month seeking treatment. He changed everything about his home in order to continue on his path back to peace. Nobody knew that he was living in a sober house, Griffin said. I lived in a sober house for 3 months. From October to the end of 2018 season, I was living like I was in college, had a roommate, had a little bit of clothes, and I was going to my meetings. I did the whole 9 yards. That was part of my recovery, just to reset, and I wanted to reset. In late September 2018, the Vikings ordered Griffin to undergo mental health screening after several incidents in which the defensive end became uncontrollably irate at the team facilities days, including a police report that said Griffin threatened to shoot somebody in downtown Minneapolis hotel. Griffin's agent, Brian Murphy, told Pacero doctors were able to rule out serious mental health issues, yet the defender continued to seek help, ultimately discovering a source of trauma and putting him on a road to recovery that allowed him to return to work while remaining in a treatment program. So what we look at with Aldon Smith is not something that doesn't happen with anybody. And I'll look at him from the standpoint of where we've hired other people that were troubled. When we think about Greg Hardy, because that's the name that always pops to my head, Greg Hardy had some real issues off the field. Greg Hardy was convicted, but because there was a retrial and the witness didn't show up, basically he was exonerated. The NFL suspended him for 10 games. It was reduced down to 4. He came to Dallas. But you looked at him, and it wasn't like, we all have done things. I've done some stupid things in my life that I look back and say, I'm glad nothing bad happened because of it. And if you've done things that are wrong, it's what you do after the fact that makes up for it. Greg Hardy seemed to be the other direction. It was more like, I got you suckers, and had no regrets about anything that went on. And in fact, even went after a coach. So you look, what, Mike?
So Greg Hardy actually now is in the
Yeah, he's a mixed mountain. He need to be in someplace fighting.
What's his name?
So I'm not saying that he's cured. I don't know. He's saying the right things in this interview, and I can relate to some of the things he's saying that's happened with him. There's been a lot of great players that have had some issues and things. You can look at Charles Haley, not paranoid schizophrenic, bipolar, where we've got some things that kind of make you wonder what's going on with this guy. And there are stuff. Lawrence Taylor was a beast on the field, and we don't have to put the drug issue on there at the same time because there's a lot of guys that were like that. Dallas is the perfect place to stay out of trouble, and stay straight on the narrow. Eastside, you just love the abuse, don't you? You know what? Eastside.
Shut
Sit your ass down, Eastside. Damn. I understand. See, I get it now, Eastside. I understand why you hanging out in the Dallas Cowboys channels. See, everybody knows you on all the Dallas Cowboy channels. Because we know what's going to happen. You're going to slide right out of the Texans band camp, and then you're going to slide right into the Cowboy one. We know you're a closet Cowboy fan. You know you are. You know you are. How you doing, Miss Anita? And there's Tiara. How you doing, Tiara? Eric Walker, keep Aldon Smith away from the pout. There's no cause for that, man. There is no cause for that, dude. Come on, man. Let's give the guy a chance. Okay? If he messes up, then you can vilify him. Okay? Those of you who are vilifying him, have you never done anything wrong? Because those that live in glass houses shouldn't be the first ones to cast the first stone. All right? So I'm going to leave it there. And if the guy can play, if he can keep his nose clean, I'm all for it. Because the bottom line is, we're trying to run a business here. Oh, no, Mark Holmes, you can't say. Well, Eastside, we don't want you anyway. We don't want that Texas stank over here, okay? We don't need it here. I didn't say I wanted you to be a fan. I wasn't begging you to become a Dallas Cowboy fan, Harold. No. He loves, I know he does. He really does. Jerry's the best owner, worst GM. Well, I have a different feeling on that one. Because one thing you can say about Jerry Jones is loyal to his people. Because he, for whatever reason, I don't know if Jason Garrett knew where the bodies were buried, if he had a tape on him or something like that. But Jerry Jones is loyal to a fault. Jerry Jones, literally, once you become part of the Cowboys family, you're part of the Cowboys family. And Jason Garrett was part of that family, and that's the reason why it looked like he just couldn't get rid of him. But now on the flip side of this, you have to at least look at the Cowboys from the standpoint of actually being able to get players. I'm not saying that they did the right things with the players, but you look at some of the players and the talent that they have found and developed, homegrown talent. They've done pretty good from a GM standpoint in acquiring talent. It's not like you look at this team and say, oh my God, we ain't got nobody. You don't just by accident get a Tyron Smith, a Travis Frederick, a Zach Martin, a Lyle Collins. You don't hit on that many players. You don't hit on a Dez Bryant or, you find a Tony Romo as an undrafted free agent. You don't just happenstance find a Jason Witten or a DeMarcus Ware or a DeMarco Murray or Zeke Elliott. This is real talent. And don't give me this stuff, well, everybody gets that great talent. Because we've seen teams like Cleveland forever missing on quarterbacks and wide receivers and running backs and having problem children all over the place. We've seen the Washington Redskins mess up how many quarterbacks? Hell, the Redskins over the last 10 years have spent $200 million on quarterbacks. $200 million they've spent on quarterbacks and still don't have one. And may draft one this year. Think about that. They went from Donovan McNabb to trying to move up to get RG3. They done had Kirk Cousins and bumbled that whole situation up. They get Alex Smith. They go ahead and get Haskins. And now, they might take Tua. Tua, who I don't think I would touch Tua, personally, if I was in need of a quarterback, because allegedly some of the GMs out there won't pass him for a physical. And you got to think, okay, yeah, he had hip surgery, no big deal, but he's also had ankle surgery. And as I was having a conversation with somebody today, they said, think about it. He's getting hit in there, the team he's on, of course, he's got the best talent in the world. What's going to happen if he gets drafted by a poor team that's got a terrible offensive line? And he starts getting hit. He's going to fall on his ass or on his hip. How long do you think that guy is going to be able to make it? And it was like, you bring up a really great point there. I didn't think about that, but you really bring up a great point. You don't know how well he's going to hold up. So you can look at Jerry Jones and say he's a terrible GM. I got to say, being the GM versus being the coach on the field are two different things. And as far as getting talent, they got talent. If you had a Bill Belichick that was coaching that talent, then maybe we would have had a different result. So he has not been reinstated yet, but he is applying for it. Now, normally it's a 60, at least before the new collective bargaining agreement. It was hey, Miss Jackie, how you doing, Miss Jackie? Normally it was a 60-day period that from the time you apply for reinstatement, they would make a decision within 60 days. Now, I don't know if that's changed or not, but also, too, we should have Randy Gregory, who's supposedly applying sometime soon as well, and I'm hoping we get these things done. So I want to bring up another situation here. Mike Farello, and I probably mispronounced his name, but I don't give a rat's ass. He doesn't deserve to have it pronounced right. He literally has made it his mission to go after Dak Prescott and Dez Bryant. That, the Dallas Cowboys. Ohio Cowboys Lynch 64. Thank you very much for that super chat. He has literally gone through like the Dallas Cowboys that Dak Prescott and Dez Bryant stole something. That they should be locked up. They're the worst thing in the world. And I will give you this, that this is not, when you look at this photo and you think about social distancing, that does not look good. But I have some interesting information that somebody told me about this. Dak and two of these guys are his homies that usually stay at his house. Three of them have basically been social distancing themselves together. They've been quarantined as well for over the last 2 weeks. So that is not the best look to go ahead and give you. I will give you that. But it's not quite like this is like, oh, everybody's going in a different direction and we haven't been around each other. They have been. So I understand that, there's not a lot to talk about right now. And the Dallas Cowboys have the big target on their backs that everybody likes to go ahead and vilify the Cowboys. The Cowboys are the scum of the earth and everything else. But at least can we keep the stuff equal? Because when you looked at Tua, his workouts, Tua, you see all the guys he's there with, hands touching and everything else. I mean, I think we're not supposed to be having more than 10 people in a group. Isn't that kind of the guidelines that are out there? Tua's got like a whole gang of people. They got a sound man, they got a cameraman that's there. They got the coach who's got his hands all over him and handing him the ball. We got several receivers. We got a couple of guys that are standing around. So I'm just wondering, where's the outrage for those guys? That's just what where's the outrage for those? Because weren't they doing the same thing? Am I wrong? Facts, Zeppelin. Okay. Juan Cruz, what's up? I'm back. Let's go. Well, I'm glad you're back, man. The Cowboys' performance of surgery on Jalen. Yes, let's see. It was a calculated risk. Well, Jalen Smith, you're right. It was a calculated risk taking him in the second round. But apparently their doctors felt like this guy can perform. Okay, so, that's one thing to risk a second-round pick like we did with Randy Gregory, as well. Looking at him from a standpoint of this guy should be a first-round, top 10 talented guy. Taking him on the second round is not as much of a risk. But now if you're talking about saying a fifth, like a top 5 pick for Tua, when you miss on a quarterback and you taking that high, that sets your franchise back years. It literally does, because it's not only that pick, because it's not that often that you get to that position, but then you spend time trying to develop him. So that means if he doesn't work out in 2-3 years, now you got to start all over. There you go, Miss Jackie. Right. What about Lamar Jackson and Antonio Brown, right? And those guys. But nobody says anything about it unless it's the Dallas Cowboys. We know that's how it goes. Ohio Cowboys. They're not Cowboys. And herein lies the problem why everybody thinks that the Dallas Cowboys are the worst team in the world, because they're constantly under the microscope. You're right. They only want to punish Dak, and it's like he's an easy target. He's a guy that will basically give them ratings. Thomas, I didn't hear much of it. I'll put it this way. I didn't see an article in Sports Illustrated about it, saying that the NFL should come down on them. I didn't hear him on The Fan going through and railing about that as well. But see, this is the same guy who's always had a vendetta against Dez Bryant. He's the same guy who started the rumor that there's a tape out that might be 10 times worse than Ray Rice, and this tape was never found. And so this is the same guy. And it annoys me to see people that are given the platform and thought to be experts have no credibility when it comes to some of these things. And he's not under contract. That's the amazing thing about this is neither of these players, Dez is not. He's not under contract. He belongs to nobody. Dak Prescott has not signed a contract. He's a free agent until he signs it. His rights can't go anyplace else. But neither of these guys belong to the NFL right now. But
I thought Michael Gallup was signed.
But he didn't go after Michael Gallup. He went after Dak and Dez. Did he have a group hug? Eric, here's the thing, though. Did you see the workout? It's the same thing. Because the reality is whether you touch hands, hug, whatever, you still get the same. It's all going around. I got my hands on the ball. I'm running around. I'm sweating, okay? You're catching the football. It's the same thing. What's up, PC76? Shout out to Jet D. Facts, Miss Jackie. Very true. I'm sorry, they're kind of flying through here and my eyes just can't seem to focus. But like I said, I just would like to see for once some integrity from guys. At least be consistent. Don't just, call out the Dallas Cowboys and nobody else. And I'm not saying that they were right to be putting out this picture, because they're not. Because this is where you guys need to be the leaders of the community and let everybody know, hey, listen, let me set an example. We need to go ahead and social distance. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm disagreeing with is the fact that you only go after the Cowboys. Pay Dak and Dez working out more. Play Dak and Dez working out. I don't have that clip up in here, do I? No, I didn't have that one queued up. I'm sorry, I don't have it queued up, man. But I tell you what, we can play. We've got this workout of the Cowboys right here. Let me play Okay, so in case you didn't hear, the XFL has basically terminated everybody. The XFL is like, we have no plans for 2021. They had a conference call with all their employees that basically said, thanks, see ya. Don't call us, we'll call you. Uh-oh. I don't have my clapper over here. Tiara, welcome to the Mojo Crew. I appreciate you becoming a channel member here. That's the only clip we need. There you go. That's the only clip we need. But the whole thing with that is, this team has got to get themselves together. Forget about the outside noise. We got the XFL. They folded up. And you're going to see a few players sign left and right. Aldon Smith, who originally went to LSU, and then he went to junior college because he was transferring, ended up in Alabama. He was a 5-star recruit out of high school, was with the Jacksonville Jaguars through their training camp, and, of course, played in the XFL until they folded up shop. I kind of feel bad for the XFL. We went to the inaugural game, and in fact, I guess we got what's going to be a collector's item. And if anybody's interested in having a DC Defenders shield, I can send you one because I got like 5 or 6 of them. But
They were number one in the East.
They were number one in the East, and we were, like I said, we went to the very first game. It was DC versus Seattle, and we froze our ass off. And the game was good. Don't get me wrong, the game was good, and they were innovators in what they were doing. I like the way they did the kickoff. I like the fact that they had not only the 1-point play, okay, the 2-point play, but the 3-point play. These are things that maybe the NFL starts to adopt. And the fact that when they made a bad call in a game that really didn't matter, they owned up to it like immediately the next day and apologized.
It was that night.
That night, right. They basically said, listen, we screwed up. There was actually integrity in that game. The way they did the kickoffs where you got the kicker all by himself, and I'm okay with the kickers being all by themselves because I don't like kickers. Okay, whatever, Harold. Harold, read between the lines, buddy. Read between the lines. I like the way they did the kickoffs because it avoids some of the main collisions. It is hell out there when you are running down a field 40 yards full steam and collision. It's just bad. The fact that they have both guys lined up about 5 yards apart in the middle of the field, basically. They got the kicker by himself. They got the returner by himself. Then you're not getting those head-on collisions. It just kind of makes it a little more exciting. The fact that kicking into the end zone puts the ball at the 30-yard line, so you can't really kick out of bounds and things like that. It's forcing teams to actually play more football. The fact that you have that 3-point play, chances are you're not going to make it from the 10-yard line, but it gets you a chance still trying to get back into the game. So there was some good things about the league, but unfortunately the Rona got it. They only had half a season. But I know for me personally, having just gone through the Super Bowl, the end of the NFL season, and then starting up with another. It's kind of like, I was just kind of overstuffed from dinner. It's like, yeah, I could eat that slice of pie, but I'm really full. And you just start thinking about other things that you might needed to do. So I'm not sure that I would have been a major fan. Come on, Joe Boo's not on the desk. No more, was it an Eagle? What? Joe Boo's right here. Right here. There's Joe Boo is right. Don't listen.
Look at his cousin.
No, look. Joe Boo's right here. Right there. He got tired of standing up here on the front. He said, I want to sit down. Derek Young, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate it. Don't worry, man. You Eagles always worry about stuff. Oh, Adrian Collins. Thank you very much for that. Joining. Is the clapper over there? What did I do with the damn clapper?
I don't know if it's Jason Clapper.
No, it's not it's the Cowboy Star clapper. Thank you very much, Adrian Collins, for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. Make sure, I got yours. I got yours, actually, Tierra. Adrian, make sure you email me. The email is right there, CowboysMark94 so I can get you your keep your ass at home shot glass. No more pass interference challenges, Mark. Yeah, they might as well not have those because it's not like they ever turned any.
No, only returned one.
Right. It was just kind of like, we're going to give you this one because we screwed up on the Saints game, but we're not going to actually use it. The fact that, here's what's crazy. The fact that you had more running backs called for unnecessary roughness for lowering the helmet, and that was 2, I believe, or was it 3? And they're all on the Dallas Cowboys. More than pass interference or overturned. It was just freaking ridiculous. Freaking ridiculous. Joe Boo is tired. Yeah, after going through Jason Garrett for all those years, Joe Boo's like, call me when we got something really to cheer about. What's up, brother Robbie? Joe Boo is tired. Or the flag picked back up. What's happening, Robbie? Those shot, but Miss Jackie, did I get you a shot? I got you one, didn't I, Miss Jackie? You got one, right? Yeah, I think. Well, I can't remember if I had the new ones or not.
I don't think I had the new ones when he sent them, but she got them.
She may have the old ones.
Yeah, the old one.
Lambits CX, how you doing, man? What's up? Good seeing you, Derek. Robert, okay, clapping hands. Yes, that's for sure. So we now realize that the Cowboys are trying to fill out this team. And you can definitely see that Mike McCarthy's influence is definitely spreading. The fact that they took a chance on Aldon Smith directly because Aldon Smith and him clicked. And I think that might be a relationship because of Tom Sula having coached him before, that maybe Marketplace Joe Boo with a Morton Salt. That's not, dude. It's not Morton Salt. It's Dallas Cowboys tissues, man. Tissues from Miss Jackie. I guess you wouldn't understand a present because ain't nobody giving you nothing, are they? Ain't nobody giving you nothing except maybe a lump of coal. Yes, I did. It was saying the new one. Oh, okay. So Miss Jackie got one. Cool. More sack clips. What you talking about? More? Dude, you don't really want to see that clip again. Dude, no, come on, man. We played that in the ground. Eagle fans got to be tired of Damn, Justin. No, you didn't call your coach a crackhead. Damn. That's just wrong, man. Wow. Cowgirls lost to the Bills, but y'all forget that also. You know what? Eastside Herald. What you got, dude? You keep talking about what my Cowboys have done. Tell me what your Houston Texans have done other than trash the team. Just literally get rid of everybody. Come on, man. Come on. Best win of 2019. Oh man, that was, it's funny how the Eagles fans keep forgetting that one. Derek Young, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate that. While we can't relate to your lousy record, we can welcome and enjoy the presence of real Teams fans if you behave. Are there, Eastside, are there any Houston Texans YouTubers? I'm just curious. Because you're always on Dallas Cowboy ones. If you showed support for your team's channels, I'm sure they'd be blowing up by now. JJ Watt next. We should offer like a fourth round pick for JJ. I think the Texans would probably go for that. Brandon Cooks, that dude's always getting knocked the F out. And the fact that, there's $20 million in dead money because of that dude, it's just like unbelievable. And the fact that you got rid of him, you brought Brandon Cooks in and let go Hopkins because you didn't want to pay Hopkins. It's like, what are you thinking? PC, you changed your pick. Keep your ass. I like that. Who the Cowboys pick in the first round? I don't know, man. I'm still working on that one. Hold on. You say Sauce Sports YouTube, and my boy Honcho, check it out and learn something. All right, I'll go by and check them out and tell them that you sent me. How about that? JJ Watt is always injured. You're right about that one. Earl Campbell was a beast. Who do I want? Oh, God. I'm going to do a video on that, and I'll probably put it out on Sunday, so I don't want to release that just yet because I'm still trying to figure it out. I want defense. A lot of people want to go cornerback-wise, and I can understand that. But for me, a cornerback, if you got that defensive line, I'm going to leave it right here. Me, I like guys that can get after the quarterback. If you smother the quarterback, then you're going to end up having a lot more success as far as on the back end. If that quarterback has time, I don't care who you have on the back end, it's not going to work. So think of edge rushers and think of defensive linemen. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. All right? And we're going to go from there. I'm having a little problem here. Hold on. There was another point I had in here, and I can't remember what it was. I'm getting old and I'm getting tired. It's been a long, rough week. Oh, no, you didn't, Miss Jackie. Go back to David Carr. Oh, 7 to 8 sacks in one season. Damn. What if Lamb's still on the board? Connor Lamb? Connor Lamb would not be a bad pick. But I don't think he's going to be there that far. Jerry needs to go so we can win. Well, good luck with that one. Well, there's a lot of guys. Now, the Cowboys are doing the due diligence. They are looking at basically every position here. And I think what their philosophy is going to be is we're just going to take the best player that's on the board. If it ends up being a wide receiver, so be it. If it ends up being an offensive lineman, it'll be that. If it's an edge rusher, cornerback, whatever. They're looking at just saying, we filled in the spots enough that we feel that we can just take a person who hopefully can be a day one starter and improves us wherever that may be. And that may be the better philosophy. Because when you think about what we've done, me, like I said, I'm a defensive line guy. I love a big, strong defensive line. I love the moves that we've made so far. We got Tyrone Crawford, who talks about thinking that this defensive line is going to be great. He's supposedly in great shape and everything else. The Cowboys decided not to cut him or get him to take a pay cut. They figured they didn't need the money, but you got him in the rotation. But I still need that beast. And I think that they're going to be looking at an outside linebacker defensive end, because I think they really want to go to this 3-4. I keep getting told that you're an idiot. They're not going to go to it. It'll be a hybrid defense, and that may be the case. But you're going to start using what you've got to the best of your ability. And I look at this because Tyrone Crawford, at first I kept saying, Tyrone Crawford, maybe that guy's going to go. But you got to look at him from before. He was in a 3-4 his first part of his career. So you've got him. You had D-Law, who used to also be in a 3-4 defense as well.
Chris Miller, thank you very much for that super chat.
So you've got a couple of guys that you can kind of switch in there. Now, the linebacking changes a little bit because you're not having your traditional middle linebacker. You basically have a strong side and a weak side linebacker, and your outside linebackers really are more like rushing ends. But you've got the defensive linemen now. You've got bigger guys that are stronger that can get the push in the middle, and that's what I'm
Miss Anita, thank you very much for that super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And that's where I look at this team to look for that outside linebacker. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's where they're going to go. But
Back to this whole thing of drafting for need. We've done that twice, and thus far we haven't got dividends from it recently. We looked at getting Taco Charlton. Taco was a reach
because when you looked at that draft that was in Philadelphia, shout out to Philadelphia because you guys did actually put on a good draft. I have to give you credit for that. But I can't give you credit for this, though.
He gets no credit for that guy because he's a bum.
But with Taco, when you looked at the board, all the defensive rushers, all the edge rushers and stuff were flying off the board. We had a late pick in the first round, and we knew we were going to have a late pick in the second round, that there was not a chance to get anybody as far as a pass rusher then. And you looked at it and said, there's a lot of D-backs that we can get later in the draft, and where you picked up, Xavier Woods and Woozy and things like that. So they kind of reached for Taco. And Taco was very raw and just never really fit in for the Cowboys. You reached on that one. But the Cowboys figured if we don't take somebody now, we're not going to have an opportunity later. And it's one of those things when you draft and say, we need that guy, you kind of settle and think that a person is better than what you think. It's kind of like when you go to the grocery store and you're hungry and you need stuff like flour and milk and things like that. And you need some chicken and, maybe you need some hamburger and things. But those aren't the things that you get. Because you're hungry, you go ahead and buy that bag of Doritos. You get a couple of Snickers bars because you're hungry. And you get home and you realize what you got is just some shit. You didn't get what you really needed. And they did kind of the same thing with Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill, it's a late second-round pick. We want to go ahead and get that pass rusher. Instead, you turn down a Warren Thornhill. And you reach for that guy, and it ends up so far not being that good. Now, I'm not ready to say he's a bust. He was young, and maybe the coaching staff didn't inspire him. But he's going to get an opportunity here to try and turn it around. He had some skills coming out of school. He had a motor. Now, let's see if he can get some motivation to go with it. So, it's like the Cowboys trying to draft the best player available. And that's why you see them interviewing everybody from outside linebackers, edge rushers, to defensive linemen, to cornerbacks, to wide receivers. I mean, they're doing, even quarterback. They're doing the whole gambit, and they're just going to say, we'll take the best players here that we can get to fit in our team. And we'll see how that works. And the other part you can look at this too is if you still feel that you have a hole at cornerback, you still feel that you have a hole as far as, the defensive line, there is that second wave of free agency which will come, around training camp and after the draft as well, because teams say, hey, we got this guy, we can let go of that veteran that's overpriced, and you can still find value down the road. Taco was slow. Watt had overall talent. Well, see, T.J. Watt, that was a mistake by the Cowboys. See, that was one of those ones where the Cowboys have in their mind, we've got a model of the defensive lineman we want. What?
think he had about 60 sacks in his career.
Who?
TJ. Watt.
TJ? Oh, he doesn't have 60 yet.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like 34.
It's not 34 to 60 is a big difference, son. But okay. But see, the Cowboys, their defensive linemen, you can look at them from David Irving to Taco to Tyrone Crawford. They like guys that were tall and lean and fast. Okay, and that's never been me. I like guys that can just push the damn pocket. I can just bull rush up the field. And so they looked at TJ Watt and they said, well, he's really kind of more of an outside linebacker, edge rusher, and his body type doesn't fit what we're looking for. So they said, let's take Taco because Taco fits our parameters. And that's a mistake that a lot of GMs make because they'll look at a guy like Drew Brees and say he's really only like 5'10", 5'11". He's not that 6'3", 6'4" guy with a cannon for an arm. And so they take a guy like David Carr and then they pass on somebody like Drew Brees. And it turns out David Carr, well, he takes a sack real good. He takes a sack real good, but couldn't play football to save his life. And that's where sometimes you just got to say, forget about what you think. Can the guy play? Can the guy play? Well, Taco, you don't necessarily have to be fast. You got to be able to make moves, and you've got to be able to have a will. And a lot of it also goes to technique. And Taco, his technique just wasn't quite there. He was very, very raw, and that was one of those things where you say he had the tools, but you still had a lot to learn. Is Taco still on the fish sticks? Yeah, he's still with the Dolphins. David, Miss Anita, still having problems with that damn camera. Damn you, camera. I have got to talk to them about this camera. Damn it. So my final point for tonight is, as we get ready for the draft, is Jerry and Stephen Jones. And shout out to Miss Jackie because she shared an article with me where there's a lot of GMs and owners that are kind of upset because the Dallas Cowboys have an unfair advantage. That the Dallas Cowboys, because Jerry and Stephen Jones are in the same house, that they can be there together. I talked about this yesterday because I'm glad the fact that those two guys can be there together because I don't want to leave Jerry Jones with his own, to his own freedom to do whatever the hell he wants. Because if we had that, we would have had Johnny Manziel and we would have been screwed. So teams are complaining and saying that Stephen Jones there with Jerry Jones is an unfair advantage that other teams don't have. And they're hoping that Jerry Jones might make a crazy mistake like, let me go ahead. I know you guys want this guy, but you know what I want? He shows me the money. I like that. And yeah. So there's that. It's going to be fun and it's going to be interesting because if you've been watching TV at all, it kind of amazes me because you watch some of the regular shows on TV and now that we're all hunkering down and people have to be at their homes and they don't have that lighting crew or that makeup crew or the set and the music and all that, some of the people you're watching on TV, to me, they're not quite as good. It's kind of like Albie Shore. And maybe this is a reference that a lot of you guys don't know. But Albie Shore was incredible on his album. But then you got him like live, it was like, you're not really that talented, are you? You just got that studio voice. And that's what you're looking at when you see a lot of these shows that just seems like you got the studio quality guys and everything they're doing all around you makes them seem really, really good. But then they get out and it's just them. It's not quite so great. So, Jesse Clark. Make sure, Jesse, you email me there at cowboysmark94 gmail so I can get you your shot glass out this weekend as well. Thank you very much for becoming a channel member. It's going to be interesting having 32 teams on a giant Skype call, Zoom call, whatever you want to call it, and trying to produce this without having more than 10 people around. You know there's going to be some mistakes. You know there's going to be some drop calls. You can best believe somebody is going to try and hack somebody. Because, hell, I'd like to hack the Eagles myself, I would love to be, hacking the Eagles war room and do something like this. Boom. Just play that
Good night, Ohio Cowboys. Lynch.
Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for that super chat, man, and being a member. I appreciate that. Bill Belichick is hacking the Jets again. I tell you what, if there's any hackers out there, if you can hack the Eagles and put this up on the screen, I would appreciate that. I will send you, a couple of shot glass racks. I'll get you some Jobu t-shirts. I'll get you some shot glasses. I'll hook a brother up, okay? I'll hook a brother up if you can do that one. Play it. There you go. See, Tierra, that's what I'm talking about. Play it on a loop on the Eagles War Room. That's what I'm talking about. That would be just like, that would be perfect. I mean, literally perfect. But there's going to be some mistakes going on with this stuff. It's too much stuff that, you're going to have everybody trying to tune in. You're going to have all these teams trying to go in here. They're going to have some serious, Wi-Fi connections with all this. They're going to have the players, like the first round anticipated drafted guys, on screens remotely. They're going to be running actually a telethon as well. It's going to be a lot of shit going on at the same time. I don't know that they're going to be able to pull it off, but I'm going to be checking in. We're going to definitely be doing a live stream during the whole thing, so we're going to be using up some of the bandwidth as well. We'll work on getting E2 Blue and everything else in the house. I'm taking Eagles. We talking Wentz. Okay. I'm talking Eagles. Yawn. Talking Wentz. Okay, I don't get it. Any updates? No updates on Randy Gregory. He's supposedly, at some time in the very near future, applying for reinstatement. Hopefully he gets it in sooner than later. I think CeCe Lamb is going to be gone. Judy might be available at 17, but I wouldn't count on that. Roger Goodell from his house with the 21st pick in the NFL draft. The Philadelphia, the fumble clip shows up. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Oh my God. All right, Miss Jackie, I guess we'll see you soon. So it is that time. And I apologize because I'm a little bit worn out. It's been a rough week. But get your shot glasses ready. We got a whole bunch of new members that are up in here with our shots. And as soon as I can get... Where's my... Boom, boom, boom. Let's get our shot glasses ready. And here we go. Shot glasses. Did I hit the I'm sorry, everybody. I got the wrong. I put the wrong clip up. This is look. Get your shot glass ready. Y'all keep your ass at home. Okay. All right. Let me see if I got it right this time. Hey, Eagles Mafia, you know, if your quarterback had better clips, I'd play him, but that's the best we got from him, man. You know, if you don't like seeing those clips of Carson Wentz, go to an Eagles site, man. But Philip Vance, thank you very much for becoming a member. Make sure the new members that you email me at cowboysmark94gmail so I can get you your keep your ass at home shot glass. And we can hopefully keep our ass at home so we can get past this coronavirus. Because I don't know about you, but I'm putting on that 15 pounds from the corona. You know, my hair's getting wild. I need a haircut. So keep your ass at home. And this shot is for all of you who are out there busting a hump, all you delivery men, all you mailmen, all you doctors, you nurses, you people at the grocery store, you people at Home Depot and Lowe's and everywhere else, people picking up the trash, everybody that's out there doing everything and putting it on the line. This, I salute you. My first drink in about 5 days. Q, put the shot glass down. And with that being said, it's time to turn off the lights. This party's over.
Eagles Mafia, that wasn't 2 years ago. That was the first game last year. First game last year.
Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.
Eagles Mafia, I'm giving you bonus time, buddy. That was the first game, week number 6 of last season. I know you forget that stuff, dude. I know you forget. I know you want to forget. But, dude, you got one victory in the last 4 games now. Okay? One victory in the last. And that's all I got to say about that. So good night, everybody. Happy Easter. I know I'm still on Miss Jackie. I know Miss Jackie. I have to mess with the Eagles fans, Miss Jackie. I have to mess with these Eagles fans because they think they all high and mighty. We the Philadelphia Eagles, but your team sucks. Your team is trash. Your team is going down, brother. They're going down. Come on, man. I've come look. I just need to put this on. I get every time I play that one, the NFL ends up hitting me on that. I gotta find a new one. Right, here, I'm serious. He said 2 years ago. No, dude. No, see, this is how dumb some of these Eagle fans are. They don't even realize that literally wasn't last season. Oh, boy. Oh, right. The first game of the season. All right, everybody. I will see you guys first thing in the morning. I should go out here and do a fireside chat because it's the end of another day that I survived as well as you guys.